So now I will be discussing on the questions of module 4 of dynamics. Of that I am discussing question number 17. Two blocks of 100 Newton A and 50 Newton B are connected by a flexible but inextensible string as shown in figure. Assuming the coefficient of friction between the block 100 Newton and the horizontal surface 0.25, find the acceleration of masses and tension in the string. So, this is the question given to you. Mass A 100 Newton, B 50 Newton. They are connected by a string which is passing over a smooth pulley. The string is inextensible. What does it mean is, the elongation of the springs need not be considered. It is not extensible. So, and it's passing over a smooth pulley. That means this tension in the string at both these ends. So, here the tension in the string in this direction, the tension in the string here. These two will be the same. If you consider the cut in the pulley, this will be acting right from here. Here it will be like this. So, the tension in the string on both sides, T, the tension in the string, this is the tension in the string. Okay, you are asked to find the acceleration and tension in the string. Let us consider each body separately. Consider A. So the horizontal surface, it is resting on the horizontal surface. Let us mark the forces acting on it. The tension in the string. This tension is acting like this. What about the direction of motion? When this body 50 Newton comes down, this will move towards right, isn't it? As the body 50 comes down, A moves towards right. So this is the direction of motion. Body A moves towards right. So once it moves towards right, the frictional force will be acting opposite to the direction of motion. Frictional force is nothing but it is equal to mu W. Frictional forces mu r, we have seen earlier, when a body is resting on a plane, the self-weight acting downwards and the normal reaction acts upward. Considering vertical equilibrium, W will be equal to r, and frictional forces mu r, or it is equal to mu W. We are asked to find out. So we have the value of mu is equal to 0.25 and W is equal to 100. So this is equal to 0.25 into 100 is equal to 25. The frictional force acts opposite direction of motion. So these are the two external forces in the horizontal direction. Tension along right, frictional force along left. So I am going to apply the D'Alembert's principles which we have just discussed. D'Alembert's principle, apply inertia force. Apply inertia force which is equal to mass into acceleration, opposite to the direction of motion. So this is you are applying. Apply the inertia force. So now this system is in equilibrium. So you can consider sigma h is equal to 0 or sigma fx is equal to 0. So considering the equilibrium equation, T towards right, mass into acceleration. What is mass? Mass is equal to W by G. W is 100, weight is 100, 100 by 9.8 into acceleration. T minus W by this, then one more force in this direction, minus 25 is equal to 0. Okay, considering the equilibrium of the first body, T minus MA minus 25 is equal to 0. That is the first equation. Now consider this body B. Consider B. Here the tension in the string is acting upward. Tension in the string is acting upward. Its self-weight W 50 Newton is acting downward. And what about the direction of motion? This body, let us assume it comes down. So this is the direction of motion. So these are the two forces acting on it. Together with these two external forces, we apply inertia force opposite to the direction of motion. So this is direction of motion. So you apply W mass into acceleration. Apply the inertia force opposite to the direction of motion. Now that body is in equilibrium. So we can write down sigma v is equal to 0 considering the forces. The force acting upwards T plus MA. M is equal to W by G. 50 by 9.8 A. This is acting downwards. Minus 50 is equal to 0. So consider the vertical equilibrium for the body B. Write down the equation of equilibrium in vertical direction. For the first body, I consider the equilibrium in horizontal direction because it moves in horizontal direction. So equation 1 and 2, there are two unknowns, T as well as A. Solve between 1 and 2. So first equation 1 minus 2. This minus this, T minus T, 0. Minus 100 by 9.8 minus 50. So we will get minus 150 by 9.8 A minus 25. So plus 25 is equal to 0. 1 minus 2 will give. From that we can get the acceleration of the system. 1.63 meter per second square. Once you get the acceleration, substitute in either this equation or on the second equation, any of these equations. So from 1, T is equal to 25 plus 100 by 9.8 into A, 1.63. Will give you the value of tension, 41.63 Newton. So it is a very simple example and it got 9 marks. Next question number 18A. A car starts from rest on a curved road of radius 600 meter and acquires by the end of the first 60 seconds of motion a speed of 24 km per hour. Find the tangential and normal acceleration at the instant t is equal to 30 seconds. Also calculate the distance covered at the end of first 30 seconds. Okay, so let us see what are all the data given to us. A car starts from rest. So the initial velocity is equal to 0. It starts from rest and the radius of curve is 600 meter. Then when t is equal to 60 seconds, when time is equal to 60 seconds, it attains a speed or velocity 24 km per hour. So that is equal to, you can convert it into meter per second, 24 into 5 by 18, 6.67 meter per second. So these are the given data. And you are asked to find out tangential acceleration and normal acceleration at t is equal to 30 seconds and also the distance covered. So this is the question. We are given this given data and these are the question answers to be found out. So let us see what are the given data from this. So the total time from 0 to 60 seconds it is given, but you are asked to find out the tangential acceleration, normal acceleration when time is equal to 30 seconds. So we are given the initial velocity, the final velocity. Let us see whether we can find out the acceleration from this. Okay, initial velocity is 0. Now let us find out the angular velocity. Angular velocity at t is equal to 30 seconds, at 60 seconds, angular velocity omega is equal to v by r. When t is equal to 60 seconds, the angular velocity or the final angular velocity is v by r. Radius of the curve is given. So it is 6.67 divided by 600 0.011 radian per second. Initial angular velocity omega 0 is equal to 0 because it starts from rest. So from these two we can find out the angular acceleration. Angular acceleration alpha. We have the equation omega is equal to omega 0 plus alpha t. Similarly, v is equal to u plus at in linear motion. Final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus acceleration into t. V is equal to u plus at. When it comes to circular motion or rotary motion, motion of rotation, omega equals omega 0 plus alpha t. From this we can write alpha is equal to omega minus omega 0 divided by t. So it is equal to 0.011 minus 0 divided by, this happens in 60 seconds. So divided by 60, we'll get the angular acceleration as 1.85 into 10 raised to minus 4 unit is radian per second square. So this is the first step we have to get, which we'll be using. Okay, we have got the angular acceleration. The question is find the linear acceleration, tangential acceleration and normal acceleration at t is equal to 30 seconds. What is the tangential acceleration? Tangential acceleration a suffix t is nothing but r alpha. It remains same throughout the motion. At is equal to r alpha. So where r is equal to 600 into alpha is 1.85 into 10 raised to minus 4. So we will get the tangential acceleration 0.111 meter per second square. Now the normal acceleration a suffix n is equal to v squared by r that is also equal to r omega square. We have to find out at t is equal to 30 seconds. So we have to find out the angular velocity at t is equal to 30 seconds. Let it be omega 1. Angular velocity at t is equal to 30 seconds is omega 1. Omega 0 plus alpha t. Starting from rest with an angular acceleration of 1.85 into 10 raised to minus 4 for 30 seconds. So at when it becomes midway of the travel, total 60 seconds, this is the value. When it is 30 seconds, what is the angular velocity? Find it out. You will get it as 0.0055 radian per second. Therefore, substituting here, normal acceleration is equal to 600 r into omega square, 0.0055 square. It will give the value 0.01815 meter per second square. In some questions they may ask to find the total acceleration. If you are asked to find the total acceleration is nothing but the vector sum of at square plus an square. In this question it is not asked. So we are asked to find out only the tangential acceleration and angular acceleration. Then the third part of the question is find the distance covered. Angular distance theta, similar to s is equal to ut plus half at square. Theta is equal to omega 0 t plus half alpha t square. This omega 0 is 0, so this term becomes 0. Half alpha into time, 30 seconds, so into 30 square. It will work out to 0.08325. Angular displacement, it is in radian. If you want to compute the linear distance traveled. X is equal to angular distance times the time. Theta into t is equal to r theta. If x is equal to r theta, r is equal to 600 and theta is equal to 0.08325. That is, if a body is in a circular motion, this is the r. If it is theta, the corresponding distance r into theta, but theta should be in radian. This is r theta, the linear distance corresponding to this in the curve. R into theta, it works out to 49.95 meter. And this question is having only 5 marks. Direct substitution of formulas. Direct substitution of formulas. This constant angular acceleration problem. So next question number 18b. With what minimum horizontal velocity u can a boy throw a rocket A and have it just clear the obstruction at B as in figure? So you are given a figure. A boy is throwing a stone or a rock from this point A, which is 26 meters from the base, and it hits the object at B, or it clears the object at B, which is 16 meters from the same reference line. They are asked to find out what is the value of the minimum horizontal velocity u. So the minimum horizontal velocity, you are asked to find out this. It's a very simple example. See, what are the coordinates of point B? Boy is throwing horizontally. So at that point A, the body is having only horizontal velocity. The vertical velocity is 0. That is the first thing you have to remember. At A, only horizontal velocity for the body or for the stone. Only horizontal velocity u. Vertical velocity is 0. Now, when this rock just clears this point, how much distance it travels? Consider the horizontal motion. Consider the horizontal motion. Of the rock particle, of rock. Horizontal distance travelled is 40 meters, isn't it? The horizontal distance covered, say x, that is equal to 40 meters. So what is the expression for distance? If you know the velocity, suppose it takes time t. Let t be the time taken by the stone or the rock to clear this point B. So if t is the time taken, distance is equal to nothing but u into t. Velocity into time is a distance. So I can write 40 is equal to u into t. Both u as well as t are unknown. Now let us consider the vertical motion. As the stone from here, it clears this point B. What is the vertical distance travelled by it with reference to this plane? What is that vertical distance? This is 26 meter. This is 16 meter. So this vertical height covered is 10 meter. Isn't it? So let us consider the vertical motion. Consider the vertical motion. H, the distance covered, h is equal to ut in the direction of gravity. So ut plus half gt square. But the vertical velocity, say u, vertical velocity is 0. So this term will be 0. Since considering vertical motion, the vertical velocity is equal to 0, there will not be any first term, ut plus half gt square or vt plus half gt square. The initial velocity in the vertical direction, when the body is moving only in horizontal direction, the vertical velocity is 0, half gt square, or 10 is equal to half into 9.8 t square. So from that we get t. From that we get t is equal to 1.428 seconds. So once we get t, we can substitute here. 40 is equal to u into 1.428. Therefore, u is equal to 40 divided by 1.428, 28.01 meter per second. It's a very simple example. Just consider the horizontal motion. Horizontal distance covered is equal to constant velocity into time. The vertical distance covered, it starts with initial vertical velocity 0, ut plus half gt square. From that we get the time, back substitute, we will get the answer. And this question carries 9 marks. It can be done very fast. So next video we will be discussing the numerical examples of the same question paper, module 5.